Good morning, children. Today we will learn about the different types of sentences. In language, sentences are of three types: simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. The first one, simple sentence. You can see the sentence on the slide. My father will come back tomorrow. Now, in this sentence, the subject is my father. And what is told about the subject? That he will come back tomorrow. Then the predicate becomes will come back tomorrow. This sentence has one finite verb, that is will come. You may think, what is a finite verb? A finite verb is one which changes with tense. Like will come is future tense. It will become comes in present tense. It will become came in past tense. So a verb which changes with tense, with person, like first person, second person, third person, and which changes with singular or plural, that is known as a finite verb. So in this sentence we see that it contains one subject, my father, and one predicate, will come back tomorrow. So we can define a simple sentence as it is a sentence which has one subject and only one predicate and one finite verb. Now children, sometimes the predicate may consist of just a single verb, like women danced. Women is the subject and danced is the predicate. Sometimes it may consist of subject, verb and subject complement, means what is said about the subject. Like Raghav is a doctor. Raghav over here is the subject. The verb is, and what is said about Raghav? He is a doctor. So that is known as subject complement. Now, we will see that sometimes a simple sentence consists of subject, verb and a direct object. Like example as it is given in the slide, I trust you. Here I is the subject, trust is the verb, and whom do I trust? You. So that is the object. I can give you one more example. She helped the poor patient. She is the subject, helped is the verb, and whom did she help? The poor patient. So that becomes the object. Now the fourth type, children. We have the subject, we have a verb, we have a direct object, and we have an indirect object also. Like see the example, my father bought me a laptop. First you see this way, my father bought. So father is automatically the subject. He bought something. What did he bring? The thing which he brought is the direct object. That is a laptop. And for whom did he bring? Me. I become the indirect object. One more example I am giving you. They hired me a taxi. They is automatically the subject. Verb is hired. What did they hire? A taxi. So taxi is the direct object. And for whom did they hire? Me. So I become the indirect object. Now the last type of simple sentence, it will consist of subject, verb, object, preposition and the object of the preposition. See the example given in the slide. I borrowed money from a friend of mine. I is the subject, children. Borrowed is the verb. What did I borrow? Money. So object. From. From whom did I borrow? From is a preposition, and from a friend of mine. So what is the object to which the preposition is referring? That is a friend of mine, and it is known as prepositional object. One more example I give you. He has bought a gift for her brother. He is the subject, has bought is the verb. What has he bought? Gift. So that is the object. For whom? For his brother. For becomes the preposition and brother becomes the prepositional object. Now we come to the second type of sentence. This is compound sentence. In the slide you will see the sentence, man proposes and God disposes. This sentence consists of two parts. Man proposes, just leave the word and, God disposes. Now each part, man proposes also has a subject and predicate, and God disposes also has a subject and a predicate. So each part of the sentence is a clause, and both the parts, they can give you full meaning on their own, and both the parts of the sentence do not depend upon each other for meaning. So these two parts are said to be clauses of the same rank, and when they are of the same rank and being added by a conjunction, that conjunction is called coordinating conjunction. In this sentence, children, which is the coordinating conjunction? And. Now, in the definition of compound sentence, we will say that a compound sentence is a group of words which has two or more coordinate clauses. Children, coordinate clauses are independent clauses. They do not depend on each other for the meaning. They have their own subject and their own predicate, but they are joined together by coordinating conjunctions. Like see in your slide, the example is she worked hard. She succeeded. Now, when I transform it into a compound sentence, I will write she worked hard and she succeeded. The second example, you can sit here, you can go. I will transform it as you can sit here or go. Mind children, here or is the coordinating conjunction. And now we will learn about the third type of sentence, that is complex sentence. Look into the slide and read the sentence. I went to bed after I had finished my lesson. This sentence consists of two parts. I went to bed and after I had finished my lesson. Now pay attention. Each part of a sentence has a subject and a predicate of its own. We can also say that there are two clauses in this sentence. One clause is I went to bed. This is an independent clause. Means what? It has its own meaning. I went to bed. So when a clause is independent, it is called as main clause or principal clause. But see the second part, the second clause. After I had finished my lesson. This clause cannot stand on its own. It has to depend on the previous clause for its meaning. So the clause which depends It is known as subordinate or dependent clause. When we go in for the definition of a complex sentence, we can say that a sentence which consists of a principal clause and one or more subordinate clause or clauses, that sentence is called a complex sentence. Now children, how do we form complex sentence? We can form it by using noun, adjective or adverb clauses. You have already learnt about the three types of clauses. I am giving you an example of forming a complex sentence using a noun clause. The sentence is, I do not know the cause of his failure. When we transform it into a complex sentence, we can write, I do not know the reason why he failed. I do not know. This is the main clause. And the reason why he failed is the subordinate clause. The second example is by using an adjective clause. Time once lost is lost. Children, in the previous slide, there was a voice problem. The second sentence was not heard properly. So I am repeating that. Changing of complex sentence using an adjective clause. The sentence is time once lost is lost forever. And when we change it into complex sentence, it will become time which is lost forever. Now the third type, changing of a sentence into complex by using an adverb clause. He is too poor to buy a bicycle. When we change it, it will become he is so poor that he cannot buy a bicycle. So children, we have learned about the three types of sentences: simple, compound and complex. And this is where we end for today.